very powerful, because I was basically going to the manual that my Creator has given me. Right? Does that make sense? Psalm 139, 13 through 16, I probably already wrote it in many of your books. It's my life verses that says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That God knew my frame before even the universe was made. That He knew every single day that would be before one of them even happened. Which means I am meant to be here, and not everybody's meant to be a size zero. That's what that means. That's what that means. Be truthful. Own it. You have the power already here, and you don't have to do it by yourself. The second one is you have to be forgiving. You have to be forgiving. Meaning that you can't begin a process of transformation without letting go of the past. Think of it this way. You can write this down if I think this is something great to remember. Think about how big the windshield is and how big the rearview mirror is. Does that make sense? You've got to be forgiving. If you cannot let go of yesterday, because you can't make it happen. Like, time is the one denominator that's equal, meaning that Donald Trump can't buy more today. You know what I mean? Like, he can't add 24 hours to the day. No matter how much money you have, you can't buy time. Right? You definitely can't. Look at Steve Jobs. People are always saying that there's some big conspiracy and that the rich people have the cure for cancer. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense, because there are wealthy people, very wealthy, that die of cancer. Like, don't live your life thinking that there's something you don't have. You know what I mean? So we've got to be more forgiving. Let go of the past. Every diet that you've ever done, every gym membership that you've ever wasted your money on, let go of it. Every relationship that's failed, that's hurt you, disappointed you, trust me, if you can't learn to let go, you have a choice in life. You either get bitter or you get better. I just spoke on it this past week. The whole entire message was get bitter or get better. And that's pretty much it. Like, when it comes to your life and the process of change and relationships and, just everything, finances, marriage, raising kids, job stuff, all of it, church stuff, get bitter or get better, because guess what? Someone is always going to hurt you. We're emotional people. We're body, soul, and spirit. There's always going to be somebody that's not going to do something the way you think it should be done, right? I am trying to discipline myself better in that right now. Like, that's something I've been working on, is to let go of the anticipated actions of someone else. It's not my job to change other people, but it is my responsibility to work on myself and let go of yesterday. So to be forgiving is the second decision. So be truthful, be forgiving. The third one is that you have to be committed. You have to be committed. Truthful, forgiving, committed. Meaning you have to show up. I mean, I'll never forget, people are always saying, you ever heard people say about Oprah, like, it's so ridiculous with all her money that she can't be thin, right? Have you heard people say that? Like, she can have the best trainers and she can have the best food cooked for her and a private chef, and, again, using an excuse to justify why you can't lose weight, because if Oprah can't do it with all her money and you ain't got Oprah's money, then you shouldn't be able to lose weight either. Like, that's really what that's saying, I hope you know. And I'm sorry if you've said it before. But the bottom line is, Oprah said herself, Bob Green can't get on the treadmill for me. She goes, my big butt's got to get on it. You get what I'm saying? In other words, you have to show up. You can't pay somebody to show up. You can't pray that it happens. You actually have to make it happen. If you love American Idol, guess what? You watch it. Right? If you can't watch it one night, you TiVo it, right? Like, you make sure you're going to see American Idol. Deciding to exercise is non-negotiable. When people tell me they want to lose weight but they don't want to exercise, I can't work with them. It's not even a question. Some form of movement is necessary. And not everybody's going to run a marathon, okay? I understand that. I totally get that. But the bottom line is that it is the glue that sticks this together. You have to move, because Because, remember we talked about creator and design? Because we didn't come up with this. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at your arms and legs and just the physiology of our bodies and muscles and bones, they're designed for movement. You know what I'm saying? We're not designed to sit at a desk all day or to lay on a couch. We're not physically designed for that. We're designed to move. We're designed to burn calories, which are a form of heat. And that's what keeps us able to keep moving. It's just we're the ones that have messed it up. I mean, it goes all the way back to that shirt back there that says that, what does it say about the first temptation? It's no wonder that a carb was the first temptation, talking about fruit. So the bottom line is you have to be committed. You have to show up. Big deal. Gotta be committed. The fourth decision, and this is the one that gets people often, is that you have to be interested. My husband has a Dodge Ram, a 2500 diesel Dodge Ram, and I drive a Yukon. And so I can tell you that when we pull up to the gas station, there's a red carpet that rolls out in coffee waiting. Not really. This is the thing, I'll never forget my husband. He let me borrow his truck, which was so nice of him. Anybody have a husband who loves their truck? You know somebody that loves their truck. He loves his truck. So my husband says to me, I'll let you use the truck. Thank you, baby. To go to the grocery store. It's 9/10 of a mile from our house. However, if you get gas, if you have to stop and get gas, the gas tank is full. If I have to stop and get gas, you will wreck my car and my engine if you don't put diesel in it, if you put the wrong gas. He tells me that 5 times before I leave. Again, full tank, 9/10 of a mile, you understand? He calls me while I'm at the grocery store. Seriously, did you go to the gas station? Did you put the wrong gas? You didn't put the wrong gas in, right? Honey, I'll be home in 10 minutes. The gas tank. No, I didn't get gas. And I thought about it later on, and I thought to myself, this man values his truck. And he wants to make sure that I don't mess it up. And so he wants to make sure I know what kind of gas goes in it, and he wants to make sure that I take care of it. Well, so why would we, when it comes to our body, think we don't need to know what kind of fuel our body takes? You know what I'm saying here? Like, in other words, when you hire a trainer, if you hire a trainer or you allow someone to teach you how to work out, if they don't teach you how to work out on your own, you're going to have a problem at some point. If you go on a diet where someone's writing out everything, I will tell you, if you join one of my camps right now, my virtual camps, and you become a camper, I will not tell you everything to eat. You will choose your meals. It will be boring. You will have a celebration meal every week. But you will choose your meals based on a formula that works. It absolutely works. But if I tell you to eat cottage cheese, because I still can't fathom that people like cottage cheese. To me, it's beyond my brain that anyone likes cottage cheese. You understand? There are people that love cottage cheese, and it's a fabulous thing. It's really good for you for lots of reasons. But if you tell me I have to eat it, I'm bailing. You understand? I'm done. You feel the same way, right? It's like the weirdest food ever. So it's not even sweet. I mean, I could feel the texture if it was sugary, you know? So the bottom line is, I want you to know that you have to be interested. That is the fourth decision. You have to pay attention. Listen, there are people that struggle with their weight that honestly are probably more qualified when it comes to nutrition than some of the best nutritionists in the country. Because you bought the book. It's not a lack of information. But see, for me, I thought